Hi everybody, I know that this has been a long day making all this Greek food, and I probably look like the wrath of God by now because I've been cooking all day. This has been a little labor intensive because I did a lot of different things today, but now we're ready to do the hummus and I have everything laid out. The secret to a good hummus is threefold. You need to peel your garbanzo beans, and this is the brand that I prefer, the Goya. I use the big can when I make it. Usually it's the same as 2 small cans. And you need to take off all the outer coating on the garbanzo beans. It's a little tedious, I have to say, but it's very easy. If you watch, you just put it between your fingers and squeeze, and it comes right off. And just put it between your fingers and squeeze. So, yeah, it does take a couple of minutes, but it's really not a big deal. I'm actually going to reserve a couple of these to put on the top of the thing when I'm done. But the next step, I already put my garlic, which I crushed, 3 cloves of garlic, in the juice of 1 lemon, and I let it sit there about 15 minutes because that will give you a really, it'll mellow out the garlic a little bit so you don't have a really overpowering amount of garlic. So then you put in your garbanzo beans. Ice water is the other key here, by the way. You want ice water when you do your hummus, with the ice cubes in it actually. So put your garbanzo beans in. I'm going to leave a few out just to decorate on the top when we're done. And then to that, you take 1/3 of a cup of the juice from the garbanzo beans. When you open the can, you drain that, you put that in. And then you have your tahini. I use about 3/4 of a cup of the can. You can go up to a cup. I don't find you usually need that much, so 3/4 of a cup is what I use. And you do have to usually scrape down a little bit when you're making the tahini, when you turn on the blender to puree it. In here, I have a little cumin, salt and pepper. I'll put all the recipe amounts when I post, but pepper to taste. I think it was 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Again, you could use more if you prefer. I'm not particularly a fan of it, so I don't. Now, ice water is the key. And the olive oil. Again, we're going to use the Greek olive oil that we have, but we're going to stream the olive oil in once we start to pulse it. I am going to actually put in 2 tablespoons of ice water with the cube to start, because that will give you a smooth hummus. You can add as much or as little as you like. You really kind of have to open it up and look at it to see. So let's hope that this was in place correctly so that when we try to close it, it'll close. Maybe not. Let's see. I'm going to pulse it a little bit more. And then you got to look at it. So it looks thick yet, a little bit thick. So I'm going to scrape the sides down a little bit. I'm going to add just another dab of ice water to it, maybe 1/2 tablespoon. And then I'm going to turn it on and drizzle the olive oil in while it's on. Let's see. Anything in my left hand, so I got to change hands. All right, so turn it on. Pretty much your hummus should be done. We'll just see if you want a little more. Now look at how creamy that is. I mean, that's really beautiful. It doesn't even look like it needs a little bit more water, but let me see. Running out of hands. Let's see. To me, I think it's perfect. I'm not going to add any more oil in there. I'm going to give it to my professor behind me who's filming to taste and see what he thinks, but I don't think it needs any more water. I think it's creamy enough. Nope, he says it's good. And that's it. The hummus is done. So you can see how creamy it is. I am going to plate just a little bit of it, because hopefully we will be eating dinner sometime today. The rate I'm going, I don't know, but I'm going to put a little bit here. I mean, just look at how creamy that is. It's beautiful. And truly, it's the ice water. And the rest I'll put in a container, but let me just put that there. And then, again, my secret ingredient to everything I cook is my Sam's bottle of love. This is named after my dad, and I am going to make a video on that, but we got to give a couple imaginary shakes because got to have some love. And then we're just going to make a little bit of an indentation on the top. You can do whatever you like, however you like to serve it. You could put anything you want on it. You could put pine nuts on the top. You could put Kalamata olives, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of that olive oil on the top, which is why I like to kind of make a little furrow in there. You want just a little bit, you don't want too much, but just a little on the olive oil in here. And then I'm going to take some of those garbanzo beans, the last couple that we shelled, sprinkle them on the top. I have a couple of Kalamata olives. And this will go on the table for dinner. So hummus, I mean, it really takes no time. The longest part of doing the hummus is actually just shelling the, not shelling, but peeling the garbanzo beans. It's a little annoying, but truly it makes such a big difference in your hummus you can't even imagine. So if you take like an extra 10 minutes, you'd be surprised at the results. Again, the ice water, a little love, and get the skins off your hummus and you'll be perfect. And there you go. Can't beat that. Nice and creamy. So I'm gonna get the baba ganoush ready next, and then hopefully make the chicken and we'll have dinner tonight. So thanks for sticking by me all day today. It was fun.